It's Monday, the 11th of October 2021. It's time for news are coming to you live on GBC News and GTV. Good afternoon, I'm Siyoko Kwakuchere. Welcome to the news. In a bid to fight criminals across the country, the Ghana Police Service has adopted a strategic approach on the sidelines of a 3-day capacity building training by the service in collaboration with Hans Seidel Foundation. The Director of Public Affairs of the Police Service, Superintendent of Police Alexander Obin, said the strategy will help control crime, build public trust, confidence, respect and cement legitimacy. In times past, the Ghana Police Service has been in the news for the wrong reasons, mainly linked to high rate of crime, police brutalities, harassment, extortion, among others. Although the trend seems to be changing, the impact is yet to be felt because the negative image has badly affected the relationship between the police and the public. Ultimately, it has brought the integrity of the police service in question. To move from rhetoric to reality in saving the image of the police service to make it more relevant, the new Inspector General of Police, Dr. Ekufu Dampari, has outlined 4 thematic areas which are restoring public trust, commanding police respect, regaining public confidence, and cementing police legitimacy in the discharge of their duties. To kickstart the process, 40 police personnel from selected regions have gathered in Accra to be trained in these areas. The Director General, Research, Planning, Monitoring and Transformation, Commissioner of Police, Paul AWINI, was emphatic that the service is positioning itself to become a first-class police service.
We know that each and every one of you hold the Ghana Police Service very dear to your heart. After all, this is the only police service that we have. After all, this is the police service that each and every one of you swore the oath to serve. And you have been doing so dedicatedly throughout. Now what is left is for you to participate very actively in the program so that at the end of it we will derive all the benefits from the program that we're just looking at.
The Director of Public Affairs, Superintendent Alexander Obin, said with the new strategy, the crime wave in the country will be reduced drastically.
Police is also embarking on enhanced visibility. And very soon we are beginning to see more motorcycle patrols in our urban landscapes in terms of policy. And the rural side, you're going to see more armed police officers, anti-armed robbery police officers, ensuring that those who adopt any means of vehicle to commit crime, to put fear, to deprive Ghanaians of their hard-earned property during market days, among others, will face the full force of Ghana through the police officers trained, deployed, and giving confidence to work on our behalf, even when we are asleep or when it is raining.
The police administration is optimistic that with the new leadership, renewed commitment from the personnel, support from other men in uniform, security-conscious citizens, coupled with the training, the service will deliver quality policing to Ghanaians. The National Road Safety Commission, in a joint operation with the Northern Regional Police Command and the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority (DVLA), have impounded hundreds of motorbikes in Tamale today. The joint operation forms part of efforts to enforce road traffic regulations, instill discipline and reduce carnage on our roads. Our Northern Regional correspondent Mutala Issa joins us for an update. Good afternoon, Mutala.
The motorbike is the main means of transport within the Tamale metropolis and the Sanarugu municipality. However, there are certain safety rules that are followed by riders, including the not registering their motorbikes and also riding without helmet. Just this morning, on my way to this press briefing, I tried checking on the streets of Tamale how people are complying with the use of the road crash helmet. Unfortunately, for every 20 people you count on the roads of Tamale, you only find about 3 who are wearing the crash helmet. There's been a number of accidents across the metropolis. I have lost some very close friends, 3 friends in the last 2 years. I have lost them to road crashes, and all 3 had head fractures from the medical report. This morning, in a joint operation, you can see hundreds of motorbikes have been impounded. We are fortunate here. We have the Northern Regional Director of the Drivers and Vehicle Licensing Authority, Mr. Mutawakil. Thank you very much for joining us on Ghana Television. What can you tell us? How sustainable is this program that you have just started?
Thank you very much. I think the police have the mandate to enforce the law. And as such, as they enforce the law, it should be sustained. And sustaining this means that you do not just say that we want to stop unregistered bikes on the road. How do you stop them? You have to register them. Okay. And if the police impound motorbikes as you see this morning, DVLA will have to come and make sure that we complement the effort that police are doing so that the exercise will be very successful. And I hope the police will continue to do this exercise, and DVLA will work 24/7.
You have just impounded nearly 400 motorbikes from my count. What are you going to do? How are you going to release these bikes?
According to the police, most of these people have committed 1 or 2 offenses. And as the regional police commander rightly said, we are to ensure lives and property are safe hands, and of course, people in Tamale and the other metropolis should be free to use motorbikes, to use other means of transportation in Tamale without being subject to what we call road accidents.
Many young people in the Upper East region have taken to weaving the traditional northern fabric, referred to down south as northern kente, to make ends meet. This is now an income-generating venture for many young people, especially women, in most parts of the region. The locally manufactured metal looms are visible in almost all the communities in BAWKU and its environs, with especially the women engaging in this age-old craft. Our Upper East regional correspondent Samuel Ayama joins us from BAWKU with more details.
Thank you very much. It has been a dream for many young women to get themselves empowered or to acquire some skills in order not to travel to the southern part of the country to look for non-existing jobs. As we speak, most of the girls in this part of the country no longer travel to the southern part of the country to look for non-existing jobs because the fabric, the northern fabric or the northern kente has come to stay. And some of the women have also taken advantage and have embraced the venture. And as we speak, they are making good use of the sector. I have one of the trainers here with me who is ready to share with me how her outfit has been able to help these young women in this part of the country. Tell me, what has been your journey so far?
My journey so far has been a rough and smooth one, I would say. Rough in the sense that initially it was difficult getting these fabrics because we needed to travel far to get it. But then the idea came to empower young girls, most especially our young female girls that finished school. Some have not been to school and are just whiling away their time. Some even actually travel to the southern part to look for menial jobs. So the idea came up to empower these young girls so they could also empower other people. And then the cycle grew. And so this thing like that, PNLTV exists in the whole right here.
So now, how many apprentices do you have? How many women?
We have up to 15 young girls who are undergoing training, and when they successfully graduate, they are equally going to train other people.
So now, what support do you need from government or any individual who is currently watching you on GTV News?
Okay, and so the funding has mostly been from us. So the proceeds we make out of the sale of this, we even get financial assistance from the loans from other institutions like the banks, the we are asking that if the government comes to support us with equipment and tools, this could enhance the production here and to help the girls also go fast.
So do you have ready market for your produce?
It's sometimes very difficult because we have to resort to social media, but if there could be an avenue where all these could be put into a place where government will help us market our products, it will go a long way to helping the young girls.
Thank you very much. This venture has now become a lucrative venture because when you move to all the communities in BAWKU, the communities in Zebla, Bongo, and some parts of the region, you realize that young women are into this business for their livelihood. For GBC News, I am reporting BAWKU.
Once again, the call has been made for adolescent girls to stay focused, resolute and determined in order for them to develop their potential. According to the UN, many girls are not able to reach their full potential due to challenges they encounter, especially during their menstruation. As the world celebrates the International Day of the Girl Child, a girl child advocate, Madame Victoria Nogbe, has proposed specific guidelines for the girl child and her caregivers. This year's global celebration is on the theme, Digital Generation, Our Generation.
Parents need to give special attention. There are cases where some parents are not doing what they're supposed to do to their full capacity. So the girl child tends to fend for herself. In an attempt to fend for herself, they therefore do not respect their parents. Some parents don't even know where their girl children sleep. They have funerals, they are there till daybreak. And what is so disheartening is that they're very aged. Some of them are impregnating the very young ones. There are cases where you see a 15-year-old impregnating maybe 14 girl, and because of our cultural values, family members say, so let's settle it. And then attempts to actually correct the issue is becoming very, very difficult. The girls themselves, you must be focused. You must be determined. You must know what you want to become in life. Sometimes you might be going through difficulties, but you need to focus and know what you want to do. And then at the same time, this day social media is taking over the whole society. And they are attracted by some of those things, getting money fast, and so they need to focus and know that there is time for everything, and at the right time, all the other things that are deterring them from staying in school will come in abundance.
Metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies across the country continue to grapple with sanitation challenges. The WA Municipal Assembly in the Upper West region is no exception. Our regional correspondent Swala Abdul Wahab has gone around the regional capital to assess sanitation situations and joins us live from WA. Good afternoon, Swala. Well, obviously, Swala is having a little bit of technical challenge. We'll try to get back to Swala to give us his report on sanitation situation in the Upper West region. Hello, Swala. Hello, Swala. Swala, can you tell us what you've observed during your rounds? Obviously, we're having some technical challenges, but then let's take another story from Ashanti.
I can't hear him. Okay.
Well, this video is from the WA and
Swala,
our correspondent is standing by with the report.
We are currently coming to you live from the waste dumping site of the municipality of the Upper West region. This is the place where all the waste that is collected in the municipality is dumped, and it spans far away, like about 100 or 150 meters. And before I've been to this place, I went around part of the regional capital to find out the situation when it comes to sanitation. And what I noticed is that some areas are adhering to the cleanliness being preached by the WA Municipal Assembly. And I have also observed that some areas are not adhering to the practice, hygienic practice, and I have tried to find out why they are not complying with the directive by the Municipal Assembly to ensure that their surroundings are clean. And what some of them said is that sometimes they destroy the gutters and heap the refuse by the roadside, but the assembly fails to come and collect it, and eventually either rain or wind will blow back the refuse into the gutters. But you can see from the visuals here that this refuse dumping site is just by the road, and this is the road that also goes to the nearby community called Busa. So we would like to find out from the WA Municipal Environmental Health Officer, Mr. Paul Baba Mona, what accounts for the situation we are seeing here. Thanks for your time, Mr. Baba. Can you tell us why we have the situation here?
Okay, thank you very much, and thanks to our cherished listeners. Actually, we had a dump site at Siriyiri where we're dumping, and that one was, though it wasn't so engineered, but it was quite better. Then we had problems with the community members because they said we don't belong to WA Municipal, that they are from WA West. So they had to move us, and we had to locate here because we needed a site to dump. And this place is a gravel pit. Gravel was cut here to construct the road. So it was there, and then water was stagnating, and then those things. So we had to get the landlords whether we could fill it for them, and that has accounted for this. Actually, the assembly is trying to get a waste landfill site. Fortunately, the president cut a sword for a treatment plant at Perisi, where work is actually going on. So we think that if the place is finished, at least we'll cover here, close it up, and then we'll move to Perisi. For now, this is why it has accounted. And the heavy rains has actually accounted for this. It is not easy.
So, Mr. Mona, you notice that the refuse is almost on the road. You can see that it is almost on the road. What is the assembly going to do immediately to avert this situation so that the refuse doesn't spill onto the road?
Okay, immediately, you know, we are partnering with Waste Landfill, a subsidiary of Zoom Lion. They are actually managing the place for us. So we'll quickly draw his attention, bring him to site so that he will push the waste that is closer to the road off the road, and then we'll see how we can even cover it. We are thinking of relocating. We've identified a place, a different site that we want to start dumping. So we'll close this one up. This is a mess for us as a municipality and a growing up metropolitan assembly that to be in future. We can't sit down and be watching this.
Okay, so you've been listening to the WA Municipal Environmental Health Officer, Mr. Paul Baba Mona. And the concern of many is that this is a time bomb because the refuse is almost on the road, but the director has given the assurances that very soon measures will be taken to address the problem. A while ago, I visited the integrated recycling composite dumping composite site that is being constructed by Zoom Lion to be able to accommodate this waste. I understand when the composite plant is completed, it can accommodate about 10 times of this waste in a day. And I hope when that is done, the problem we are seeing here will be a thing of the past. Back to you in the studio, Soyoko.
For that report. The Special Prosecutor, Mr. Kisia Jabin, has formally informed the Economic and Financial Court 2 Division of the Accra High Court of the termination of all legal proceedings in respect of all cases against the Member of Parliament for BAWKU Central, Mr. Mahama Ayariga, in the case in which he was being tried for allegedly using public office for his private benefits and 5 other charges. Work on the reconstruction of the Sakumono Beach Road is progressing steadily. The 10.6-kilometer stretch known as the Beach Road Expansion Project Phase 2 is expected to be completed by December 2022. Our correspondent Humu Abdullahi visited the site and comes through with this report.
As part of this project, this road is supposed to provide a dual carriage road as well as an interchange on the Nungwa barrier to ease the traffic, especially on this part of the road. Right here, I am standing here with you, the resident engineer for this particular project, Mr. Kweku Ataku Diafo. Mr. Kweku, welcome to GTV.
Thank you very much.
Tell us exactly how is work progressing on this particular project.
The work is progressing very well on the project. In some sense, we have reached the surface level. Then we have the pavement, the custom base level, subsection. Before we come to the asphalt, most of the areas with all pavement before we come to that. But then we have traffic challenges. As you see along the traffic challenges, we have buildings, facilities, deal with, and we are dealing with them still as we go along. So that's where we are now.
Earlier on, you mentioned that most of these structures, we've seen a lot of structures marked that indicate that they need to be removed. What is delaying the removal of these structures currently?
I won't call it delay. I will call it a process. They're going through a process. Get land valuation authority. Land valuation board give us the estimate for demolishing and paying compensation for these property. In some sense, they are giving us the valuation that they are paid. That's why you see us working in this section. Some systems they are not finished. Probably by the end of this week, we see another section completed for us. Go ahead. So we are acting as I said to you. They are going stage to stage. As state approval, pay, MAURICE, and then we continue to work.
You are the resident engineer for this particular project. We know that the project is expected to be completed by December 2022. With these structures and all these challenges you mentioned, do you think that it's going to delay the pace of work? And what are you going to do about that?
What we are doing now is that by our program, realize that we are far behind to increase our resources, our effort, so that we can break the project down in different phases or different sections.
Okay.
Target them from start by next weekend. See another section that we have put up.
Okay.
Towards the body pressure picture area.
Okay.
There are much questions there.
Okay.
So we're going to open another corridor there. And
okay.
So this has started our program. So we hope that we'll follow that program to ensure that
we've seen that we can still locate some electric poles on some of the portions of the road. That's supposed to be part of the project. What is your team going to do about that?
To remove them. But if you remove them without requiring authority,
okay.
Those who accept do not have power.
Okay.
Power.
Okay.
We have already put the poles there.
Okay.
But to string the line, we need to move all the bodies along the line.
Okay.
Through the line.
Okay.
And that is what we are waiting for one coalition.
Okay.
Because the coalition will pay,
okay.
And then we can now negotiate the owners, take them off, and then we can now string the line.
Okay.
Those lines should not over any property.
Okay.
It should be free.
Okay. Okay.
That is why we're waiting. And very soon.
Unfortunately, we've seen that some of the gutters your team have already constructed. We've seen some traders who have started trading on this part of the road. This is part of the project that you are constructing. Is it up to you to remove these traders, or which institution is responsible for that?
You know, livelihood is talking.
Okay.
So assembly, talking to them, and get them off.
Okay.
But anytime we get to the area where they are,
okay,
they move away.
Okay.
Or else go away.
Okay.
That's the big topic. Then they come back.
Okay.
So you start assembly, come over, and then.
Okay. You are the resident engineer for this project. Whatever you say, it means that is it. In your opinion, December 2021, will this project be completed?
Nothing being for if we get the evaluation for property time.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Well, let me just correct one thing.
Okay.
This project is not too long.
Okay.
But one.
Okay.
Where we are is from one.
Okay.
That starts from the last of the.
Okay.
Okay. Then from one, another.
Okay. Okay.
There were another engineer who funded that one.
Okay.
Another consultant funded that one.
Okay.
So we are in one.
Okay.
And whatever I said there,
okay.
One.
Okay.
Essentially,
okay. Okay.
But you don't have much of input plans, ability,
okay.
And properties.
Okay.
One, we have a lot of them.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Right.
So as we spoke earlier on, this is the road. This is the road leading from Osu going towards Nungwa barrier. If all things being equal, based on the saying of the resident engineer, we should be looking at a dual carriageway on this part of the road. And we should also be expecting an interchange at the Nungwa barrier to ease the traffic that goes through to Spintex Road and then to Tema. So from Teshin, Nungwa First Junction, this is Humu Abdullahi. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Humu. And that was my colleague, Humu, with that report. Now let's move to Ashanti. Over 101st and 2nd year students of Ninayin Catholic Senior High School are stranded and in dire need of support to make life comfortable for them on campus. This is as a result of a fire outbreak at the boys' dormitory of the school, in which the students lost all they had to the fire. Well, joining us via telephone is our Ashanti regional correspondent Razak Baba to give us some updates. Good afternoon, Razak. Good afternoon, Razak.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Razak, can you tell us the current situation at the school?
Well, in the interim, the students have been asked to go home by a directive from the Ashanti Regional Education Directorate for 1 week. The headmistress of the school, too, Mrs. Emma Amuatin-Mensah, has been called to Regional Education Directorate to brief the director on the incident.
So has there been any arrests so far?
Well, currently the leadership of the school, in partnership with the district assembly and then the chief or the traditional council, are collaborating effectively to ensure those who are behind this could be arrested and be made to face the law. If you will recall, the fire swept through the boys' dormitory of AWINI College High School in the Achuma district of Ashanti, leaving in it so massive destruction of property belonging to these students and the house master at the time. Though the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained, it is alleged that some former year students of the school set the dormitory ablaze after completing the party. The reason being that they were not allowed by the school authority to choose the just-ended examination. In fact, the situation has left over 100 students stranded with no place to sleep nor attire to wear. After being informed about this incident, the management thought it wise they need to meet in order to find solutions to these challenges these first and second students are going through. Traumatized, so no wonder the directive from the regional education director says they should go home for a week to prepare for academic work.
Okay, Razak, have you been speaking to officials of the school, and what have they been saying?
Well, I spoke to the headmistress of the school, Mrs. Emma Amuatin-Mensah, and then the DC, I.C. Marshall, who actually expressed regret about what this student did. Looking at the investment government has made over the years to ensure quality education and also ensure the environment will be very conducive for these female youth who are benefiting from this senior high school education.
Razak, now let's talk about the disaster on the Offin River. As of yesterday, you reported that 2 bodies had been retrieved from the Offin River. Do we still have the other bodies retrieved now?
Well, you know, when the event happened, there were local rescue teams and the divers who were being engaged by the district assembly to assist the local authority to ensure this body could be retrieved from the river of him. As I speak to you now, 2 bodies have been retrieved, and we are hoping that because of the day, the other 3 people could equally be retrieved to make sure that the sitting barriers people there could be given by their relatives.
So we are now getting conflicting reports as to the occupation of the victims. Can you confirm if the victims were farmers or illegal or galamsey miners?
Well, you know, they used to cross to the adjoining community, and the inhabitants at Ashanti actually farm on the other side of the river. So they always have to apply everything through this canoe. So indeed, the issue at hand is very challenging. So the community are currently complaining that they would have wished government will provide them with a new canoe in order to ensure safety of people who ply their business on this river.
Razak, I asked whether the victims are legal miners or farmers.
Well, they are farmers, indeed, right, according to the youth committee chairman.
All right.
They are farmers who will go there to farm.
All right, then, thank you so much. Razak Baba is our Ashanti regional correspondent, and he brought us updates on the latest the disaster that happened on River of Fame and the fire outbreak at the Unity Catholic School. A group of Ghanaian citizens comprising respected leaders and academics held a news briefing to share a memorandum they intend to send to Parliament opposing the passage of the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2021. The bill, introduced in July this year, was first read on August 3 in Parliament and is expected to go before the House for debate this month when Parliament returns from recess. Panelists on Talking Points looked at the collective national discussion on the LGBTQI+, on whether to pass the bill or not to pass it.
The latest survey from the CBD is still indicating that 93% of the population is against this whole thing called LGBTQ+++. And so our academicians or any other concerned Ghanaian is free to submit any memo for the consideration of Parliament so that we fine-tune this whole thing, because if we don't do it, it might appear as if we are dodging a problem. But it is a real problem the past 15 years. Therefore, we should be able to get everybody on board so that we fine-tune the bill, and then it is passed into law and it catches all of us.
In reaction to that survey, the Ghana government committed to protect people, because if you have a society where 93% are showing this prejudice, in fact, we should not be proud to keep citing this figure, because Ghana came out on top of 23 African countries as being the most intolerant, okay? So I don't think, the same way that we are saying we are not a violent society, we should not also be trumpeting the fact that we are an intolerant society. But the onus, when you are a state, you have a responsibility to protect both your majority and your minority. So what are we doing to protect this minority?
From what is in front of us, that you have LGBTQA, allied, and plus. That plus, what it signifies, no one knows where it's going to end, and the danger we have, and I will say without any equivocation, that having that is go this way, it constitutes a threat to the very survival of the family.
15-year-old Daniella Nanefua DONKOH is reported missing. Daniella left her home at Dansoman on October 4, 2021 at about 10 p.m. to an unknown destination and has since not returned. Her family says all efforts to locate her have proved futile. Anyone with information on her should contact her family on 024 451 5544. You're still watching us live on GBC News and GTV. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with the business segment. Please stay on.
Hello, my name is R.P.M.T. I am the project coordinator for Ghana Real Estate Professionals Association. This is bringing the real estate world proud Ghana. Come to Ghana, learn new ways, be innovative in your transaction.
Come join us for the first ever African Real Estate Conference.
My name is Maurice Hampton, and I'm a certified international property specialist designation instructor. I am so happy to be bringing the first ever CIPS course to Accra, Ghana, Africa, October 4th through the 8th. Join me in learning how to increase your business opportunities, both domestically and abroad, increase your business income, and gain the knowledge, skills, and tools you'll need to better serve the community, build your sphere of influence, and build your business.
Good morning. It's a good morning and we serve you breakfast. Not just any breakfast, sizzling healthy. And there's much more on offer on GTV breakfast. So what's your pleasure than Votrasia at that time of the morning?
You want it served buffet style, complimentary breakfast?
On-site restaurant?
Or room service?
We've got you covered. From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. with a trusted team. So never skip breakfast.
On GTV breakfast.
2006. (2010).
20 seconds to Montari goes for goal! What did I say?
2014. 2018. And now, Qatar 2022. 40 African nations. Who makes the top 5? Can Ghana make a slot? Qatar 2022. The journey begins here on GTV Sports Plus. The legends live here.
This program is proudly sponsored by
Betboro.com.gh.
Good afternoon, Monday, October 11, 2021. Thanks for staying on Time to Do Business. My name is Maurice. Now the German government is seeking to replicate its SME sustainability strategy in Ghana's small and medium-scale enterprise space. After a successful skill transfer in the agribusiness, shea butter, cosmetics and energy sectors, the country, through its Invest for Jobs initiative, is improving the skills of some 20 wood processing and furniture companies. The enterprises will receive further coaching from their German counterparts next year. The agenda is to create 10,000 decent jobs, employing 18,000 people.
We started in April this year with 20 SME from the food processing sector and cosmetic sector. And now in the second round we are focusing on the woodworking industry, furniture industry and related industries. And the overall goal of this program is, well, to create jobs here in Ghana within the SME. So during the 2 years of this program, we want to create with this 60 SME 300 jobs. And this can be reached to export promotion. So for example, for the food industry, we are looking for exports to the European market. And when we are looking at the furniture industry, we are looking for localizing the supply chain to increase the production in Ghana to be less dependent from imports, for example, from China.
Well, for production, it comes out of production planning, a lot of rigs, as well as, you know, how to employee management, and then looking at the models. You have all that in it, so we are seeing that it's going to help us to push production.
And good news, as consumers of petroleum products will soon make some savings when they purchase fuel and gas at the pump. This follows the removal of the price stabilization and recovery levies for the next 2 months. At the moment, consumers of petrol pay 16 pesos per litre, 14 pesos on diesel and 14 pesos on LPG per kilogram.
According to the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, the removal of the PSRL on petrol, diesel and LPG is to mitigate the impact of rising price of petroleum products on the world market on consumers in the country. The NPA added it will work with the Ministries of Energy and Finance to quicken the legislative process to give immediate effect to the directive by the President to zero the PSRL. Crude oil price, which kicked off the year at $30 per barrel, is now selling at $84 per barrel. Also, there is an uptick in the demand for crude oil, but without a corresponding increase in supply by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. A liter of fuel in Ghana now is hovering around 6 cities 53 pesos, implying that a gallon of petrol is 24 cities 73 pesos. The PSRL is to stabilize prices for consumers and pay for the subsidies on premise fuel and residual fuel oil, RFO.
And also in Business Camp 2022, cybersecurity service providers in Ghana will have to be licensed before they can operate. The move will give assurance of safety to customers and raise the quality of service in the country as stipulated in the Cybersecurity Act.
We don't want the industry to be infiltrated by pretenders and charlatans. We've seen that because not many of us are very aware of technology and its implications, some people may pose as professionals who do not have the requisite qualifications and may even use that gap to defraud others. So it is important that we provide proper certification, licensing, and accreditation to the recognized professionals in the sector for your own good. And this means that to be recognized legally as a service provider, an institution or individual must apply for a practicing license under Section 49 of the Act and be granted that license if the authority is satisfied that they meet the necessary requirements and renew their licenses after the validity period. This will ensure that there is sanity within the industry in terms of the capabilities and acceptable ways of conducting such sensitive services in the country.
International news after this break. Stay with us.
International news. About 120 pupils have been hospitalized in South Sudan after they fell ill from a deworming exercise carried out by public health officials. According to reports by local media, the children were allegedly given expired tablets or
Good afternoon. We're doing sports. To the sports of Kings, horse racing. The 4-week Home War horse racing meeting has been climaxed in Accra. The highlight was on the novices 1 division. A horse named Precious Girl, ridden by Adu Ano Jacob, emerged victorious. She beat favorite Supreme Lady, ridden by Alex Owusu, and Michael Brown, ridden by Ebenezer Nate, for the trophy at stake. The finals of the 2021 Home War horse racing meeting was climaxed with a touch of royalty as the Akwashon Manche of Sempe Muslim traditional area, Ni Adute Uda Ulu the first, and his team, plus the head of Spartan Racing, graced the occasion. In the 4B and 4C division, horses covered a distance of 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs. Royal Queen continued the exploit and won comfortably as she led the field. Immediately, the starter's flag went down and never looked back.
Careless Whisper, and then Super. Away to go! And Simplicity.
The main race on the day was for horses in the novices 1 division. They battled for honors in the Omo Cup. It was Sarauta with veteran jockey S. Musa who took the lead, followed by Supreme Lady, Michael Brown, Simplicity, and Precious Girl in that order. After 2 minutes and 0.5 seconds, Precious Girl, ridden by Adu Ano Jacob, steered her to the finish line in a photo finish. Supreme Lady, ridden by young jockey Alex Owusu, came second, with Michael Brown, ridden by Ebenezer Nati, coming third. All winners were decorated with medals and cash prizes. Officials promised to do more to revive racing in the country.
Because it's a new banning and the sport ne. I mean, igmewo. No, mabie. Oba fish again. What's have you been? No fano oba fi. About that fin again. Ni no fano ni water. Before me bashe. Before next time, no nipo. Ni na mene pulenche. About that fi. No no banensie. Can you ask me?
What is nebu amana? Not to be ni akwashon. Your money you see as a special guest of honor, you have a small my UP. Shofane, you me secondly, you was Shujin or Pano or Blafen Bani Ebashu one or Fenya Fetch and try management brow.
In the 3A and 3B division, back to form host BRCA returned to a winning ways to beat her rival Jupiter for the 2nd time in a row. General Salute, ridden by EC Oblite, came third. BRCA crossed the finish line with a time of 2 minutes 0.1 second.
It's now Jupiter. And it's Jupiter. And it's Jupiter coming to win this afternoon's race. Jupiter has been challenged on the far side. Oh, Jupiter has been beaten this afternoon by horse number 3.
Let's do some football updates now, where Nigeria, Mali, and Madagascar all picked up victories in the Africa FIFA World Cup qualifiers match day 4. Here are some highlights.
Club form, as many of them are, but Balogun! Well, that's...
Nigeria responded to their home shocking defeat last Thursday to beat Central African Republic by 2-0 in Douala to go top of Group C.
Split across for Ottoman. The main man comes to the fore, and Nigeria have a 2-goal cushion.
Now then, here comes Charles Traore into the box. Cody, lethal first.
Ibrahim Akone's winner sees Mali stay top of Group E following their victory against Kenya in African qualifiers. Mali beat Kenya by 1-0 at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi.
After half-time, scored by Ibrahim Akone. It means that Mali...
Here they come on the front foot. Blow ball in from the right, the chance for the shot at goal. It's turned into the net. Less than...
Madagascar earned their first victory in the qualifiers for Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over DR Congo.
To this game. Here comes home side again. Laid back towards the edge of the box, and the shot from range is...
Just go hard at the hosts. A bit of space now, pulls the trigger, what a goal!
Simon Musvastanen early goal saw Tanzania earn victory against Benin in Group J of the African qualifiers.
What a start! Adiotti. Direct, it's floated in, and that's a good header.
That the run-up begins, and it's gone across. It's in the back of the net. They scored their goal, Uganda.
Fahad Bayu made it 2 goals in 2 games against Rwanda as Uganda came away with another victory over their neighbors in Group E of the African qualifier.
Into the middle, and a great chance for a shot. The shot comes in. It's not a bad effort, is it? Coming in from Waiswa, and Uganda celebrate back-to-back victories.
Rushing the field, that's a lovely turn. Play waved on. Could this be it? Is it? 1-0.
Equatorial Guinea came from behind to end a draw against Zambia in Group B, with Federico Bikoro's header cancelling out Fashion Sakala's opener.
Decent delivery, good header, and he can! 1-1. Equatorial Guinea back in the game. Oh, they're delighted. It's Fede Bikoro. Well, the defense of Zambia just went to sleep.
They conceded an injury time to lose the match between them. And it's squeezed.
Cape Verde gave themselves a chance of chasing Nigeria in top spot in Group C thanks to Ryan Mendes' late winner against Liberia.
There's nothing that can deny Cape Verde a huge victory, and it's their captain.
Come to the segment. Gospel artist Diana Hamilton has once again beaten their competitors to be crowned the 2021 Ghana Music Awards UK Artist of the Year. Diana shrugged off competition from Medical, Sarkodie, Shatawale, Stonebwoy, Kwame Eugene, Kofi Kinata, among others. This brings to 3 the number of prestigious awards won by the composer of Adum. Diana was crowned VGMA Artist of the Year 2021. She also won the Artist of the Ghana Music Awards USA. Here is a list of artists that picked awards over the weekend at the Ghana Music Awards UK. Later in our subsequent bulletins, a video has gone viral on social media of the president Nana Akufo-Addo showing off his rhythmic dance skills at his daughter's nuptials. And for many, he did not disappoint as he put his schedule on hold to enjoy some family time. They say the man who has no music in himself or is not moved by sweet sound is fit for spells. You may do your own scoring in the end. Enjoy. And on that dancing note, we end the news. Now, thank you so much for watching. Do join us again at 7 for another news package. Enjoy the rest of our programs and do have a good afternoon.